Welcome back to Mom and Pop Video Shop. I'm Tyson.
I'm Joel.
And we're here for another episode of Retro Movie Rental Recommendation.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Did I screw it up again?
No, I was saying retro movie recommendation because it's faster. But retro movie rental recommendation, we're saying it's a rental.
Do we have it in the budget to get some cue cards?
Probably not.
Okay.
Cheap bastards.
At any rate, we're back again. You come into the store, you're not sure what you want to watch. You're like, you know what? Every time I come in and Joel and Tyson are working, they always recommend a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
I might be in the mood to do a little laughing tonight. We got you covered there too.
Yes.
Although it's still going to be horror adjacent.
Yes.
So my recommendation for you is Haunted Honeymoon from 1986, not 1940.
There is one from the 40s.
There's one from 1940.
Yeah, I always forget that.
I almost said Montgomery Clift.
You do know you can make up any name right now, and
Nobody's going to know. Robert Montgomery, I think.
Okay. I know that is. Yeah.
Is the male lead from 1940. But we're talking about 1986's Haunted Honeymoon, written by, directed by, and starring Gene Wilder.
Yep.
It's 1939, the heyday of radio. Larry Abbott, Gene Wilder, and Vicki Pearl, Gilda Radner, who star in a spine-tingling series of terror tales, are getting married. There's only one flaw in their happiness. Larry suffers from phobias. Sudden outbreaks of irrational fear that threaten to ruin his career. Vicki insists it's just wedding jitters. The wedding is set to take place at the Abbott family mansion, where great Aunt Kate, played by Dom DeLuise, who's fantastic in this, lives amidst howling storms, flickering candles, secret passages, and deranged servants. Kate suspects that someone in the family is a werewolf. She's not sure which one. Since Larry, whom she raised from childhood, seems to be the least likely, she's leaving her fortune to him. But he has to live to collect, and one of the money-grubbing relatives is trying to scare the life out of Larry for keeps. So, a few episodes ago, we were talking about, you know what? I think it was People Under the Stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about how that's sort of a subgenre that I know you're a fan of horror in a house.
Yep.
Large, specifically labyrinthine-type mansions and things like that. That's the part of Haunted Honeymoon that I love, is that it all takes place in a mansion. It's very much like Clue or... I'm trying to think.
You know what movie I always think of, and I realize it's probably the reason why I have this. I saw it really young. Do you remember the movie Private Detectives with
Private Eyes?
Private Eyes, that's it. Sorry. Yeah, Private Eyes with Tim Conway and Don Knotts.
Absolutely.
And that movie scared the crap out of me. It was on, I think it was on HBO.
We talked about that.
Was
it's
like
supposed to be funny, but there's a couple
scenes.
scenes.
There was like, well, first off, there's a guy who's had his tongue cut out. So that freaked me out. But yeah, there was like a couple of moments in that movie that horrified me as a child.
Same way with me with Haunted Honeymoon. There's I believe it's like a ghost butler. And you remember there's a scene where Gene Wilder's in bed and the butler's like on the like walking down the wall. So it's a pretty cool practical tilting room.
Yeah, because obviously pre-CGI.
Exactly.
I have to be full disclosure for you. I have not seen this movie since probably 1987 when it came on VHS.
Really?
That's around when it would come
remember.
out.
So this is one of those we talked about. All the movies that I used to watch with my mom when she would rent stuff. I remember her renting Haunted Honeymoon. Now here's the thing. Even at that age, I knew Gene Wilder because of I was raised on Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And I'll warn you now, if you've never seen Haunted Honeymoon and you go into it expecting the masterpiece that is Young Frankenstein, probably not gonna hit those marks for you. But it's just a different kind of comedy. Gilda Radner is fantastic in it. Gene Wilder's great and everything. I already said Dom DeLuise is great. Aunt Kate is fantastic. The other cast member that I'll mention here, because we brought him up before, is Paul Smith.
Oh, okay.
He's from Pieces.
And was it, what's the one where the guy's in Turkey and he's in the prison and he plays like one of the cruel guards? It's Oliver Stone wrote it. Midnight Express? Midnight Express.
Remember Midnight Express? Oliver Stone won the Academy Award for Best Screenplay.
Paul Smith, he was, and I said this before, he's also in Red Sonja. He's he takes care of the little boy.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there's some cast members you'll recognize from that era, but the plot is really cool. It's I read the back of the box, but basically Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner are radio personalities. They do a show.
Yeah.
He essentially thinks he's turned into a werewolf. Like he can't say the word wolf.
I vaguely remember that. Yes.
Every time he has to say wolf, he goes whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 Wolfington,
castle.
I will tell you that I rewatched this probably within the last year, and I will say I feel like there's a handful of jokes that kind of fall flat.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just that they didn't hold up or that it's very shtick kind of comedy.
Yeah, and I would go into that knowing it now.
And that's the thing, like that just doesn't, that sort of comedy, the Marx Brothers, I don't feel like work
not like they
as
once
great
did.
as they once did. And I think that the 80s was sort of that weird transitional period where, it worked in Young Frankenstein, a lot of that stuff, and I think they were trying to
It's weird because
replicate
see, the reason why I feel like that kind of argument, I get the argument because I make it myself, but then something like Young Frankenstein, I watch it with my kids, and there's so many great jokes in it.
Yeah.
So funny. I mean, you're full of your chair. So funny.
Still, totally not as good as Young Frankenstein, I'll tell you right now. But I love the plot. I love that it takes place in an old castle. The soundtrack and the stingers are great. Again, Gilda Radner is fantastic.
She was awesome. And how long after this was it she passed away?
So this was 86.
She passed away in the early 90s?
I don't remember.
It was not like, I think that was like her last movie or one of her last things. I think so.
Maybe.
Well, that sucks.
It's got the look that I love in a horror movie, and it's got some funny scenes.
Cool.
And again, this may be one that slipped past your radar, so check it out.
So how many tapes?
Haunted Honeymoon, I'm going to go with 3 tapes.
Okay.
On Haunted Honeymoon.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, though. I want that movie poster.
Yeah, that's a great
Something
poster.
Wicked.
Yeah,
and I have looked at it, and it's relatively, cheap to get on eBay. So I think that I might be adding the movie poster for Haunted Honeymoon to my collection soon.
Nice.
So anything else to add on
I
this?
think that's it.
Thanks for stopping by the shop. And remember, at Mom and Pop's, our love of...
Well, I'm going to low-hanging fruit. Young Frankenstein.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
Never stops.